Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel ERPZEN. In today's video, we will see account receivable setups. So these are the account receivable setups. Manage receivables payment terms, collectors, customer profile classes, system options, transaction types, transaction sources, remit to address, memo lines, auto accounting rules, receivables activities, receipt classes and methods, receipt sources, customer creation, business unit. It is nothing but RDS, um, creating and assigning RDS to customer and assigning roles and opening periods to AR in AR. Now, these are all optional setup, guys. Whenever we are working on that particular functionality, I'm going to explain those things. So let's get started. Now we'll see receivables payment terms. Click on your username. Click on setup and maintenance. Make sure that the setup is financials. Search for the task called receivables payment terms. Click on search. Manage receivables payment terms. Open the task. Now click on create icon plus icon to create a new payment term. Give the payment term set common. Common. Click search. Common set and name. ERPZEN immediate. Immediate. ERPZEN immediate payment term. Now why we will create this payment term? When we sell the goods, customer, based on these payment terms, customer will pay to us. We have seen how to create payment terms in payables module. Similarly, we have to create receivables payment terms in AR. We are the suppliers, so we can give credit period, say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or immediate, like that. Now, what is the base amount? Yeah, this is fine. What is the installment option? I will explain now. Allocate and tax and freight. Say invoice total is $1,000. Item amount is $900. Tax amount is $50. Freight amount is $50. First installment is $600 and second installment is $400. Say if we select include tax and freight in first installment, it will close tax and freight in first installment. Out of $1,000, $100 is collected and remaining $900 is yet to be collected. Now let's see what is print lead days. Say if you take it as 2 days, user created the invoice on 1st June 2026 and assume that the payment terms is net 45 and first installment is due on 5th June 2026 and second installment is due on 10th of June 2026, and here when we set lead days as 2 before 10th 2026, that means 8th June 2026, system will print the invoice and it will be sent to our customer. So that is the point we have to observe. And discount basis, and here there are two discounts. One is trade discount and the other is cash discount. Trade discount means whenever you are procuring the items, at that time if supplier is giving any discounts, we can call them as trade discounts. Whenever we pay the amount before the due date, then supplier will offer discount. It is called as cash discount. Now, system will calculate the discount whether customers are eligible for discount. Let's say the credit period is net 45 days and we are also stating that pay within 10 days and get 5% of discount, and let's say the invoice amount is $1000 and user created the invoice on 1st June 2026 and the customer has to pay the amount on or before 10th of June 2026 to avail the discount, and customer made a partial payment of $500 on 10th of June 2026. We received discount date basis. We received the check on 10th June 2026, but we remitted or deposited the check on 15th of June 2026. So which date system has to consider to give the discount to the customer, like deposited date or the receipt of the check of the date? Receipt date, receipt application date, deposit date. Ideally, in any business scenario, customer will only consider what is the issue date. Say for example, if the due date is on 15th June 2026, whether he has paid before that or on or before that, we'll see, that is his headache, and after that the depositing of check, whether it has cleared or not, that is our headache. So generally we have to consider the receipt date, discount basis date on receipt date. Here we have to observe one more point. Here in payables module, if you compare with payables module, in payables we can define only 3 discounts, but in receivables there is no such limitation. Now let's take discount, invoice amount, receipt date. I don't want to go with allocate tax. Now click on payment schedule. That is just a warning. Say low discounts. Click on create payment terms common. Let's define ERPZEN net 30. ERPZEN net 30 payment terms and discount basis invoice amount receipt date from 1/1/2000. So installment option, allocate tax and freight. Click on plus icon. Now click on add row, select the record and what is the relative amount, say 100% I want to allocate. And here 30, say days 30. So if you want to give discounts, this is the placeholder where we capture discounts. Say save. Days 30. Click on save, save and close. Click on done. Now we will see how to create collectors. The task is manage collectors. Click on search. Open the task, manage collectors. Yeah. Click on add row. Now collector is ERPZEN underscore collector, and here the employee ERPZEN. Click on search. Since this user is an employee user, that is the reason why we are able to fetch this record when we are creating collector. Otherwise you will not be able to define collector. Now set collector set common. Common set. Now click on save. Now we will see why we will define collectors. We configure collectors to do collection activities from our customers. Since we will have huge customer base and we will segregate the customers and we have hired collection team to collect payments from customers. They will remind the customers to pay the payment if the due date is nearby, and also if there are any delinquent customers, they are responsible to collect the money from our customers. When we configure this, we'll tag an employee as a collector. Actually we have tagged that. Click on save, save and close. Now we'll create receivables customer profile class. Click on search. Open the task, manage receivables customer profile classes. Open this task, click on create icon to create. Yeah, this is the profile class. As a big company, we'll have so many customers and the customer volume is very high. And since we have a huge volume of customers, it's difficult to segregate each customer. Say, for example, if we have the base of 1 lakh customers, then there are certain activities like how frequently we need to send the statements and the credit limit we have to allocate. Criteria can be in different ways. How they are financially good, what is the credit worthiness in the market, and all. Now let's define ERPZEN good customer. I'll take the description as same. Now you have to tag, you have to assign your collector here. Say ERPZEN collector. Click on search ERPZEN collector, and this collector is responsible to collect the payments from our customers. Now let's say the credit limit is $50,000. The overall credit limit for all the customers which fall under this profile is $50,000, and order amount limit, say $10,000. That means when we create the sales order, the maximum per order limit is $10,000. That means anytime we create a sales order, it should not be more than $10,000. And in case if it is more than $10,000, system will put them on hold, or you have to increase it $20,000 to accommodate more value sales order. This is only applicable when you are doing order management transactions, when the transactions are coming from order management. Now we'll talk about grouping rules. How you want to create invoice. Let's say we have ordered 10 shirts on Mintra, and if we group for 10 shirts, we will receive only one invoice, and if we haven't grouped, then we will receive a separate invoice for each item we have ordered. So let's go with default as an option, default grouping rule. And when the functionality comes, when the concept comes, I will explain the remaining terms. Payment terms, here you can assign immediate, let's take immediate, click on OK, and this is how you can configure customer profile classes. Click on save. Yeah, it was saved. Click on save and close. Click on OK. Now click on done. Now we'll talk about receivables system options. Click on search, manage receivables system options. Open the task, manage receivables system options. Now click on plus icon to create. And remember one point, if you are using rapid implementation sheet, automatically system will create all the setups, this setup also. And even in payables, common options for payables and procurement also system will be defaulted. So we have common options as per accounts payable module, and in the same way in receivables module we have system options configuration. And if you have loaded the accounts, the defaults, rapid implementation sheet, just verify the setup and all. Think of configuring receivable system options as setting the house rules for how your business unit handles money coming in. It is the very first setups you do because it creates the master blueprint for your entire account receivables module. You are telling Oracle Fusion exactly how to number your invoices, how to calculate taxes, how to automatically match customer payments to their bills. Without these core rules in place, the system is essentially brain dead. It won't even let you create a single invoice or log a payment. So now let's select your business unit. Say ERPZEN. Yeah. Select your business unit and click on OK. Yeah. Now split amount is say $100. Days in days sales 1. Application rule set. Prorate all. Line and facts type. Prorate all. Now give the relevant accounts. Tax account. Now give the tax account. Says liability. Let's search for 7. Okay, you can take federal income tax. Click on OK. Now cross currency rounding account. Cross currency rounding account. Let's search with only the term called cross. Click on search. Yeah, rounding cross currency. Click on OK. Click on OK. Since it is a demo instance, it is taking some time. Click on cancel. Let us open this task again. Give couple of minutes, guys. It is loading. Again, we'll create. Click on setup and maintenance. Search for receivables system options. Click on search. Manage receivables system options. Open the task. Manage receivables system options. Click on create. Select your business unit. Yes, ERPZEN, California business unit. Now split amount, say 100. Now days in days sales 1. Application rule set. Prorate, discount basis, invoice amount. What is the tax account? Search with 7. Say federal tax income. Click on OK. Click on OK. We'll take the same account for the time being for all the things because it is taking so much of time. Tax invoice printing options. Itemized taxes. Now grouping rule default. Take default as an option. Take 1. Now click on cash processing tab. There are no mandatory things. Now click on billing and revenue. Okay, chargeback due date. Say open an invoice due date. Invoice per commit 1. Click on 1. Say 1. Now say save. Yeah, save and close. Yeah, system options we have completed successfully. Now we'll see how to define transaction types. Transaction types. Click on manage transaction types. Open the task, manage transaction types. Now click on create icon to create. If you see the transaction type set as common, click on search, common set, click on search, generate bill, say yes. Now, why we will define transaction types? As a company, we do different types of sales. Let's say, for example, domestic sales, international sales, and year-end sales as part of stock clearance. Since we need to tag them based on the sales and cost, so when we run reports, we will come to know that the revenue was generated for domestic, international, and when we want to bifurcate the channel of sales and when we want to account them to different GL accounts, then we configure different transaction types and account to different accounts. When you want to bifurcate the data, then in that case we will configure transaction types based on your sales channel. As an organization, we are doing sales and we are dealing with distributor selling our products on online platforms. When we are having those different channels, sales channels, we can configure different transaction types so that we can track what are all the sales we did. As a seeded value, Oracle will provide invoice and basic accounting entry when we create a sales invoice. Now we'll see what is the accounting entry that we will get. Receivables, receivables debit, revenue credit. It is sundry debtors account. It is sales account. And when there is a change in the item, there will be a change in the revenue account, and based on the sales channel, our receivables account will change. Say for example, if you take Rare Rabbit as an example, it is a popular cloth company, Rare Rabbit, and here you can do online sales, year end sales, and store sales. Let's say as part of new year I want to give gifts to my employees. As a company I will be placing order to Rare Rabbit. Let's say I want 1,000 shirts. In those scenarios, our company will not purchase them on normal retail stores. Our company directly approach to the Rare Rabbit, and since it is a bulk quantity, we will get discounts as well. And all the online year end stores sales will happen at point of sales system, but the corporate will happen through our receivables module. Say for domestic sales, receivables debit, revenue credit, and here we are using 1071422021. This is the account which I am using. If you take the example for international sales as well, say domestic sales, this is domestic sales. Now we'll see international sales. This is the account. International sales. We use different receivables accounts so that we can track and check at what sales channel our business is performing well. And now here the receivables account is 1072 and revenue is same. The revenue account is same, so that we can bifurcate the data, and we can do relevant checks. International sales. Now international sales, say we have purchased shirt, debit receivables 1072, and revenue is changing. Since there is a change in item, revenue is coming from this account 42022, and if you talk about domestic sales now, based on the item, domestic sales take, now we'll take a different revenue account so that we'll understand. Let's take 20323. So now here in this example, we'll understand at what account. Let's keep it here then. Now here you will be able to understand now in a very detailed way. Now here, since it is a domestic sales, we are using receivables account as 1071 and international sales 1072. Here, sorry, 1072. And since we are having an item, we are having a change in the revenue account, and for domestic sales we are also having a change in revenue account. So that is the whole point I wanted to explain you guys. So this is the whole point I wanted to explain. Now let us jump into the system and check how you can define generate bill transaction types. Name ERPZEN, domestic sales, invoice, say ERPZEN domestic sales, ERPZEN domestic sales, invoice. Now transaction class is very important. Here you can see bills receivable, chargeback, debit memo, credit memo. I'll explain. Now transaction class is invoice. Transaction subtype is open. From date, always make sure that when we are doing setups, take backdated dates so that we can create backdated transactions. Now here assign our business unit, for which business unit you wanted to do this. Now business unit is ERPZEN. Click on contains, click on search, California business unit. Now, what is the revenue account? What is the receivables account? You can set here. Say revenue clearing, revenue hardware. Click on OK. Now, receivable. We can set an item. Say, let's say, click on search. Click on search. Okay. Furniture will take vehicles. Click on OK. Say tax. Value 7. Federal income tax. Click on OK. Freight. Search for freight. Freight. There is no freight. Click on search. Take any account if there is no freight. Okay, freight expenses on sales. Now click on OK. Now I want to take the same account for the time being. Unbilled receivables. Auto invoice clearing. Open notepad. Let us paste. Receivables account. Tax account. Freight account. Unearned revenue account. Unbilled receivable account. Let's check for unearned revenue. Click on search. Unearned revenue. Let's take this account code combination. Unearned revenue. Unbilled receivables. Search for unbilled receivables. Unbilled receivables. Click on OK. Auto invoice clearing. Search for auto invoice clearing account. Yeah, auto invoice clearing account. Now click on OK. Now click on OK. If you want, you can assign multiple business units. Now click on Save. If you want to restrict this particular transaction type to a particular legal entity, yes, we can do that. Say our legal entity is this is the legal entity, Supremo US legal entity. Supremo US legal entity. I'm good with this. Now click on Save. Save and close. Yeah. Now we'll define the transaction type for credit memo, common. Say our legal entity name, Supremo US legal entity. Ideally, you should not assign the legal entity because you are restricting the system. ERPZEN debit memo. ERPZEN debit memo. The transaction type class is debit memo and the transaction status open. Now here you have to remember this is a positive sign from date 1 2000. Generate bill, yes. Allow application, natural application. Now here you have to observe one checkpoint, natural application only. Let's say we created $1,000 transaction and we have received $1,500. Then in that case we cannot apply that particular receipt. In real time it is mostly a natural application only. If you unselect this checkbox, then you can see allow over application. By using this, you can apply over application only. Now let's check natural application only and assign our business unit. Our business unit ERP is in California business unit. What is the revenue account? Revenue account. Assign all the relevant accounts. click on OK. Here debit memo is positive sign, and if you observe debit memo, it is a negative sign. Why it is positive sign means we will collect financial charges from customer. So that is the reason why it is always going to be a positive sign. So click on save. Assign your legal entity. I don't know why system is throwing error. Click on save and close. Now we'll create credit memo, transaction type, common, legal entity, Supremo US legal entity. Now generate bill, yes, ERPZEN, credit memo, transaction class, credit memo, transaction status, open, always give backdated dates. And here you have to see creation sign, negative sign. Credit memo is always going to be negative. And assign your business unit. Assign all the relevant accounts. Now click on OK. Now click on save and close. Now we'll search with our legal entity. Supremo US legal entity. Now search with this legal entity. Click on search. Debit memo, credit memo, ERPZEN. Yeah, since we haven't assigned the legal entity, it is not showing. Yeah, we have to click on save and close. Yeah, domestic sales. Okay, we will create international sales as well. Debit memo, credit memo, and chargeback. You have to create chargeback, legal entity, Supremo, ARPZEN, chargeback. We'll discuss when the topic comes. Now click on chargeback. Now from date 1100, it is always going to be in positive sign. Say yes, I want to generate Now assign your business unit. Select your business unit. Assign your business unit. Now assign all the relevant accounts. Now we have created the transaction types. Transaction status is open. Now click on save. Save and close. Search. Yeah. Domestic sale invoice, debit memo, credit memo, chargeback. Now click on done. This is how you can create the transaction type. Now let's see how you can define the transaction source. Go to the task, manage transaction sources. Click on create icon to create a transaction source. The transaction source set common. Click on common. Name ERPZEN transaction source. Now enter the description ERPZEN transaction source. From date always take backdated dates 00. Here if you can see, this transaction source is configured to stamp numbering for all the transactions created in the system. Now automatic transaction numbering, let's say it is enabled. And what is the first transaction number? 107101. Ideally it should be what is the first transaction number, but they are mentioning last transaction number. And if you want to assign it to a particular transaction type, here we can assign. So ERPZEN debit memo, credit memo, domestic sales, like this we can assign. Now click on. So this particular transaction type we are restricting to use only for this particular transaction type. This transaction source we are restricting to use only for this particular transaction type. No, I wanted to use it for all of my transaction types. Now let's say save and close. If you leave it blank, you are telling to system you can use it for any transaction type. Now here there is one more point. Click on create. There is manual and imported. When you go with the option called manual, we can create all the invoices manually, and when you go with the option called imported, if we need to import the data from a legacy system, in those cases we will define transaction source so that we can import all the open invoices. Or else, if the client is using any point of sale system and the sales transactions are happening in that system, and in that case we'll import all those transactions into Oracle. Okay, say cancel, click on done. Now we'll see remit to address. Manage remit to addresses. Open the task manage remit to addresses. Click on create icon to create a new address, and here you have to observe, let's say common, and since this is United States, the address format is like this. And if you go with other countries, say for example Taiwan, the address format is changed. And if you go with Sri Lanka, the address format is changed. Since there is a change in country, based on the country information you have selected, system is changing the address format. That point you have to remember. Now our country use United States of America, United States, you can see, and populate the postal code, and based on the postal code system will auto populate other information. Now click on search. Click on cancel. Click on your username. Click on setup and maintenance. Search for the task called remit to address. Click on search. Open the task manage remit to addresses. Click on plus icon to create common set postal code, say for, click on search. ERPZEN tower. Now city, click on search, say California. Now click on save and close. Now click on save and close. Yeah. Now search by country. United States. Code is US. Now click on search. Select the record and click on OK. Now click on search. Search for our address. Say ERPZEN. Yeah, this is our address, ERPZEN tower, and you have to define receipt from criteria. Select this address and click on create icon to create. From which country? US, United States. Click on search United States, and here if you specify state, in this country only this address is applicable for only the state members, or you can define up to the range, the postal code ranges, say 54389 and 78962. So in this country, in this state, what are all the counties, or you can say districts, that fall in place, only this address is applicable to those particular customers. If you leave them as blank, system will consider this address is applicable for this whole country. I don't want to restrict by state, by postal code. Now click on save and close. My system is throwing error. Let us open this. System is very slow. Please bear with me for a couple of minutes. Let's open this task again. Now open the task remit to addresses. Search with your country. Click on search. Now search for your address. Say ERPZEN tower and click on edit. Now I want to restrict only with the country, and if you click this, click on edit. Based on the postal code information that you provide, this is not ours. Yeah, this is ours. Now select the record, click on edit. I don't know why it is opening the other one. Okay, but anyway, based on the postal code you provide, system will automatically default the state, the city and all. So that is the point that you have to remember while practicing. Click on done. Now we will see standard memo lines. Manage, the task is manage standard memo lines. Open the task. Now click on create icon to create a standard memo line. We use memo lines to default revenue account. Mainly it is used for services. That means whenever we create sales invoice, the revenue account should be defaulted automatically for manual invoices. This is only applicable for manual invoices only. It is just like distribution set in accounts payables module. Now memo line set, this is optional guys. If you want to create, you can create, and if you don't want to create, you can skip this setup. Now click on done. Now we'll see auto accounting rules. Manage auto accounting rules. Open the task, manage auto accounting rules. It is the heart of account receivables module. When we create any transaction, system will pick the account to code combinations from this configuration. Mainly you have to define receivables and revenue. Click on create icon to create. Now click on business unit, ERPZEN business unit. Now for which account type? Now I want to set receivable, and now here in the value source you can see so many value types like transaction type, salesperson and customer site, from which while creating the transaction, from which value source the account to code combination has to be defaulted, it has to be flown into transaction. You can set it here, or else you can go with constant values if you want, but for this I want to go with the transaction type. LOV, transaction type, account, transaction type, cost center, transaction type, product, transaction type, intercompany, transaction type. Click on done. Now let's create one more. Select your business unit, and for revenue we'll create one, company, transaction type. You can see different sources, and you can hard code the value as well in constant value. For the time being, let us go with transaction type. So click on done. Now we have defined revenue and receivables account. Click on save and close. It is very important task. Now we will create receivables activities. Search for the task called receivables Activities. Click on search. Open the task manage receivables activities. Click on create. Here mainly we will define the offset account. Whatever the accounts that we are not able to configure in auto accounting rules, those accounts will be set here. We will see auto accounting rules. Click on search. Okay. Open the task manage auto accounting rules. Select your business unit. Here you can see account type, auto invoice clearing, bills receivables, deferred tax, freight receivables. Other than these, if you want to create accounting entries for other activities, then in that case we'll create receivables activities. Say for example, here you cannot see unearned earned discount or unearned discount. So that is the reason why we'll create a receivables activity to fetch accounting entries. Manage receivables activities. Open the task. Manage receivables activities. Click on create icon to create. Now search for your business unit. Say ERPZEN business unit. Select the record and click on OK. Now ERPZEN earned discount. Here you can set the activity type as earned discount and give the account code combination. Search for earned discount. Click on search. Discount contains yeah discounts and click on OK. Click on save. Save and close. Now we'll search ERPZEN. Click on search. The business unit is ERPZEN business unit. Contains ERPZEN California business unit. Now click on search. Yeah, here you can see click on edit. Now you have to be very careful when you are defining this. You are unable to change the business unit and the activity type as well. So since you have to be very careful, and if the flag called active is enabled, then only it will be used. Now click on save and close. Click on save and close. Now we'll define for unearned discount. Select your business unit, ERPZEN, unearned discount. Say ERPZEN unearned discount. Now activity type as unearned discount. Here you can find unearned discount. Now here give the GL account. Click on advanced contains discount. Now click on search discounts unearned. Now click on OK. Now click on save. Yeah, save and close. Click on save, save and close. And when it comes to chargeback, we shouldn't define our own receivable activity. Search with your BU and select the chargeback adjustment and populate the GL account. Open the task. Search with your business unit. Here automatically you can find the chargeback adjustment, and here you can give the activity GL account. Now search for chargeback. Click on search. Okay, select this and click on OK. Click on save, save and close. Now we will see receipt classes and methods. Search for the task called receipt classes and methods. Manage receipt classes and methods. Click on create icon to create your own receipt class. Here ERPZEN receipt class and method. Why we define receipt classes and methods? We use different payment methods to process the payment to our suppliers like checks, electronic, wire, ETF. In the same way, when it comes to AR, we'll create receipt methods, in which receipt method we need to collect payments from our customers. First, we'll define receipt class, and under that we will define receipt method, and for that method we'll tag the bank account. Here you can see the creation method. When it comes to receipt, creation method will be see automatic and manual. When it comes to payment, manual means we use manual whenever the payments was received through check, electronic, wire, etc. Here again, automatic means where the customer will give authorization. Say for example, you took loan from Bank of America for car, then in that case we'll give them a cancelled check and a pre-authorization to the bank stating that every month you can deduct or debit $15,000 from my bank account automatically. Here our customers are not paying, they already gave authorization to us, and by using that authorization we are auto debiting the amount from the customer bank account. And here remittance method, if you take as standard, it will allow us to remit those payments, and the remittance is only applicable for check payment method, and when we need to perform, then in that case set the remittance method to standard. No remittance means when it is an online transfers, we will set to no remittance because it is an online transfer and the amount is directly credited to our bank account. Factoring, it is mainly used in European countries. Let's say today we made sales for $50,000, and if I am running short of money, then we can take these invoices and we can approach to bank stating that I will be collecting this 50,000 outstanding amount from my customers in couple of months, but I need some money to do my business day to day operational activities. Here we'll sell our outstanding receivables, and if customer fails to pay, two things will happen: we pay the amount with interest, or we will request the bank to postpone the collection activity, and bank will levy some penalty and interest. Clearance method, if you take directly as an example, when we do cash collection, there won't be the concept of reconciliation since there is no physical documentation as proof. By matching any payments that happened through check, electronic, etc., we will go with the option called by matching. By automatic clearing, we use this when we create automatic receipts, and we can link n number of bank accounts with the same payment method. Manual, no remittance, directly. Now here define for check, ERPZEN check. Based on the name, system will automatically default the printed name. Yes. Now for this you can assign your bank account. Say our bank account, ERPZEN California Business Unit, bank. Okay, since we haven't assigned, we'll go and assign now. Click on setup and maintenance. Go to the task, manage bank accounts. Open the task, manage bank accounts. Now search with the account. Say our bank account is BOFA 2870. Click on edit icon. Now click on business unit axis. Now here assign your business unit. Say ERPZEN California business unit. Now click on OK. Now click on save and close. Click on done. Now receipt classes and methods. Go to the task receipt classes and methods. ERPZEN. Okay, we'll create it again. Say ERPZEN receipt class and method manual no remittance directly by matching. Click on standard by matching. Now check the receipt methods. ERPZEN check. Now add your bank account, tag your bank account. BOFA. Yeah, the bank is this. Yeah, Denver. And the bank account is BOFA. Since we have given the cash account at bank account level, the same it is flowing to remittance bank account. And now here you give the relevant accounts. Receipt confirmation. Receipt. Search with receipt. Let's take this account. Confirmed receipts. Let's check remittance. Remittance as an example. Yeah, remittance. Now, unapplied receipts. Search for unapplied receipts. Yeah, unapplied receipts. Now we'll take unidentified receipts. unidentified receipts, unidentified receipts, on account receipts, search for on account receipt, on account receipts, search for on account receipts. Now link ERPZEN unearned discounts and ERPZEN end discounts. Now click on save. Make sure that you have to save this effective start date. When you are practicing, give all backdated dates so that you can create and apply the backdated transactions. Click on save and close. Now click on save and close. Click on done. Now we'll see manage receipt sources. Now click on plus icon to create. Now what is the business unit? Say ERPZEN business unit, California business unit, ERPZEN receipt source, and make sure that you are giving the backdated date. Actually, I forgot to give the backdated date. Here, batch numbering, how you want to number the batch, say automatic, and give the batch number 201101. I want to go with an automatic. And if you give your receipt class, your receipt method, and bank account, you are restricting the system to use only this particular receipt class and method. This is mainly used for which source the receipt is created, whether it is created manually or it is created through spreadsheet. By default, system will create automatic receipts for every business unit that is created. One more point, yes. Click on cancel. Click on cancel. Click on manage receipt sources. Now, if you search with your business unit, ERPZEN, click on search, California business unit. Click on search. By default, system will automatically create the receipt source for automatic receipts. You are not required to create again for automatic receipts. Now let's say the business unit is ERPZEN manual receipt source. The same, provide it as description. I want to go with automatic as numbering 201101 and give the backdated date 1100 2000. Now I'm not going to restrict this. Now click on save and close. Click on save and close. This is how you can create the receipt sources. Now we'll see how to create a customer. So before that, When we talk about supplier, it is having some hierarchy. In the same way, if you talk about customer, it is also having some hierarchy. A customer, it can be also called as party. It can be either person or an organization or a company. Say for example, our customer is Jack and Jones, and it is having presence in France, USA, and India. And you can create the customer or a party customer account. Mainly it is used to define the different credit limits. Say for example, Jack and Jones India is having 50,000 rupees as credit limit, and Jack and Jones USA is having 1 lakh dollars as credit limit, and it is having 1 lakh francis, or let's say 2 lakh francis as credit limit. And customer site, say we are having two sites, the France, in France country, it is in Lyon and Paris. And customer site purpose, whether it is bill to or ship to. Say for example, Paris is the headquarters of our company, of Jack and Jones company, and if Lyon has purchased anything, Lyon will request the supplier to send the invoice copy to Paris headquarters. Since it is the headquarters, it will take that invoice and pay to the supplier. Now, bill to ship to. If Paris is the headquarters and it can receive and pay the invoices, and Lyon is only ship to, so since it is a ship to, we cannot send the bill to Lyon site, we only send the goods to the Lyon site, and the payment will be made by Paris. We will define contact points and contact relationships, and it can be created at account level and site level. If you maintain it at site level, automatically the contacts will flow from site to account, but if you create vice versa, it will not be flown. Customer relationship, like third party payments, we can define reciprocal customers, and it helps to facilitate payments on behalf of one customer. Now let us see how you can define the customer. Click on search for the task called manage customers, or you can go to receivables task list, create customer. Now search for the task called manage customers. Open the task manage customers. Say click on create. Say our customer name is ERPZEN customer, and here you can see the customer type as organization or person. So since it is an organization, I'm creating ERPZEN as this one. And account established date, say take the backdated date so that you can create the backdated transactions. Here also do the same. And now here you can see here you have to remember one point, you cannot find common. Let's search for common. No, you cannot find. But instead you can use enterprise. Now click on search. You can use enterprise. Now click on OK. From date. Now populate the postal code. System will automatically default the city, state, county and all. Now ERPZEN customer address. Yes, this is our address. And say for example ERPZEN site. This is our customer site, and here you can set the address purpose, bill to, ship to, from date 1100 bill to, and the same I want to use for ship to as well, ship to. And you have to populate the bill to site ERPZEN the same address line 1. You can see the same address. This is how you have to create the customer account type. These are all not required. And here you have to remember one point, whether it is external or internal. If you mark this customer as external, say for example in Tata company we are having so many business line of businesses are there: Tata Chemicals, Tata Motors, Tata Elxsi, Tata Motors, like that. Say the now we are procuring some, and like we are selling some goods to our internal companies. Say for example Tata Motors is having Tata cars, and they want to buy some technology from Tata Elxsi. So in that case we'll define account type as internal, since we are selling the same thing to our internal customer, to our internal company. So in that case we'll flag them as internal. Now this is external customer to us. Of course it is not mandatory, but I just wanted to explain. Now you can leave it as blank. Now click on save and close. Here automatically system has populated the account number. Now click on save and close. Please bear for a couple of minutes, since this is a demo instance, so many people are practicing. So that is the reason why it is so slow. Yeah, it is saved. Now we'll give description, account description, ERPZEN account. Now click on save. Save and close. Now when you create a customer, by default the profile class will be the profile history. Let's do that once. Open the customer account. Here click on profile history. By default it will be assigned the default profile class. Now you want to assign your profile class. Now click on actions. Click on correct record to update. Now give your profile class, say ERPZEN. Click on search. Select this and click on OK. If you change the profile class, all the values will reset to the new profile class. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Now click on OK. Say yes. Now see, The collector has changed the credit limit, the order limit, and payment terms has changed, and all the information has changed. Now click on save and close. And if you see site as well, you have to create a site profile. Yeah, this is how you have to remember this point. Now click on save and close. Save and close. Now we have tagged that ERPZEN good customer to our ERPZEN customer. So the collector is responsible to collect the payments from this customer. Now click on done. Now we will define manage business unit set assignments. Manage business unit set assignments. Open this task. Now here, if you go, yeah, if you see the customer account site, it is common. You have to change it to enterprise, or you have to create your own reference data set to create invoices. If not, system will not allow you to create invoices against this particular customer. This is third party relationship. I will explain when the concept comes. Now for this, you can take this as enterprise. Now click on save and close. Now we will assign account receivables roles. There are mainly two roles: account receivables manager and account receivables specialist. In account, by using account receivables manager, we can run aging reports, perform AR to GL reconciliation, and close periods for AR. And if you use the specialist role, we can create invoices and print invoices to send the invoice copies to customer. Now we'll assign AR roles. Go to tools, click on security console. Click on users, search for your user account, say ERPZEN. Click on search, open the user. Now here assign the AR roles. Click on edit. Now click on add role, say accounts receivable accounts receivable manager. Now assign accounts receivable specialist. Now click on add role membership, click on done. Now click on save and close. Now click on done. Now we will assign these roles to our user account. Click on your username. Click on Setup and Maintenance. Now search for the task called Manage Business Unit Data Access for Users. Manage Business Unit Data Access for Users. Open the task, make sure that it is pointing to your business unit. Now click on Create. Now we will assign the roles to our user account. So ERPZEN, search and click on OK. Role Accounts Receivable Manager. Security context is business unit. AR will work on business unit. ERPZEN, click on search California business unit. Now click on duplicate. Or yeah, accounts receivable specialist. Click on select your business unit. ERPZEN California business unit. Say save and close. Now click on done. Run LDAP job to synchronize. Click on tools, scheduled process. Run LDAP. Retrieve latest LDAP changes. Now click on OK. Click on OK. Now click on submit. Click on OK. Say refresh. Now we'll open AR periods. Click on receivables. Okay, since it is running, we are unable to see receivables and billing. Let the process complete. It will take a couple of minutes to complete. Or otherwise, sign out and sign in. So that system will establish a new session. Yeah. Now click on navigator. Let's try. Now system has to complete the job. Now click on tools, scheduled processes. Let the job complete. It is still running. So until it completes, let us discuss some points about AR period statuses. Period status. There are around 6. Not opened, opened, future period, closed, closed pending, and permanently closed. So these are the period statuses. Not opened, opened, future period, closed, closed pending, and permanently closed. Now we will discuss closed pending. In other subledgers, when we are about to close the period, we will complete all the transactions for that particular month, and we then create accounting and transfer all the journal entries to general ledger module, and even we do the same activity in AR as well as and in other subledger modules. When there are any exceptions, system will not allow us to close period, but in case of AR, system will allow us to close the period and prevent users to create the backdated transactions. If you go with the option called closed pending, even though there are exceptions, system will allow us to close the previous period and it will prevent users to enter backdated transactions. Now still it is running. Now click on general accounting. Okay, we will assign the roles. So period close, click on period close. Click on receivables. Now which period you want to open? All the periods are open. You can see the closed pending. Since we are using this US primary ledger, someone has practiced, so you can see all the periods are open up until December 2026. Click on done. Or else you can open from receivables as well. Click on navigator. Okay, still the job is running. Period close. The same way you can open the periods for AR as well. You have to select, click on open period or click on actions, open target period. You can open the target periods as well. Now click on done. Click on home. I hope you liked this video. If you like the video, please hit like, share and subscribe to our channel ERPZEN for more Oracle Fusion tutorials. Drop your questions in the comment sections. Until then, see you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you very much.